Okay. Mr. Casmo, call the meeting to order, please.
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for July 22nd, 2010 to order. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Sherwinski.
Here.
Councilman Boncino is away at a college visit with his son. He's absent. Councilman Work.
Here.
Councilman Conboy.
Here.
Mayor Muller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Will everyone please rise for a prayer and flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting with we trust your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a great love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231 of Public Law of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of each meeting as stated by the presiding officer, now therefore be advised the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice is posted on January 1, 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting will be on television. It's being taped. It'll be on Monday, 12 noon, Wednesday at 3 p.m., and Thursday at 4 p.m. It's Monday, 12 noon, Wednesday, 3 p.m., Thursday, 4 p.m., and it's on our web, www.elmwoodparknj.us. Thank you.
Mayor, tonight under the approval of minutes, we have the regular meeting of June 17th, 2010, the executive session meeting of June 17th, 2010, the special public meeting of June the 24th, 2010, and the executive session of June the 24th, 2010.
May I have a motion for all three, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Sherwinski.
Yes.
Boncino is absent. Work.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under ordinances, we have Resolution 196-10, introduce ordinance 10-13 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize the installation of playground equipment in Elmwood Park and at Borough Field in the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $104,350 to pay the cost thereof and to make a down payment to appropriate a county grant to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation and to provide the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, August 19th, 2010 at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Wirt, discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an ordinance to buy playground equipment. It comes from the Open Space Program. The $104,000 that we put in, we get half of that back from the Open Space Program, so it's a 50-50 split on that. Any discussion? Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Sherwinski.
Yes.
Boncino is absent. Work.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 197-10, introduce ordinance 10-14 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend, supplement, and revise the zoning and site plan review regulations of the Borough of Elmwood Park be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, August 19th, 2010 at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, Mr. Conboy, discussion?
Mayor, this is about the two-family change?
Yes.
Yeah, I have one question on this. I thought there was going to be a phase-in period of a year or 2 years.
It was discussed by some of the councilmen as a possibility, but when we had our meeting with the planning board, the people there were emphatic
I
about...
was at that meeting, I know, but I just feel bad for the people that weren't here that represent themselves, and I thought maybe a phasing period of a year or 6 months.
Well,
Before this goes to second reading, it comes back to us for a discussion, doesn't it?
well, we have second reading,
One more work meeting.
one more word.
Okay.
Just keep in mind that we did notify at your
Oh, I know.
request, we notified everybody.
No, I know,
in town.
Mayor, I realize that, but I still...
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Katamanian?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chirwinski?
No.
Monsino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 217-10, introduce ordinance 10-15 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, therefore entitled zoning and site plan review by creating 2 new zoning districts, the AH-1 Affordable Housing -1 District and the AD-2 Affordable Housing District 2 District for the 2 properties fronting on the southernmost portion of Riverfront Boulevard and previously located at the POP zone for the purpose of encouraging the production of housing for low and moderate income households. Be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, August 19th, 2010, at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be further resolved that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, discussion? Call the roll.
One thing,
Can I just make
Can I
one
just
quick-
ask the council, this is the decision from the courts, we have to do this, right?
That's what you're
Yes,
going to say.
it is. However, I would ask the clerk to change the AD-2 to AH-2, please.
Duly noted.
Any other discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Katamanian?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chirwinski?
Yes.
Monsino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 218-10, introduce ordinance 10-16 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Elmwood Park to address the requirements of the Council on Affordable Housing, COA, regarding compliance with the municipality's prior round of affordable housing obligations be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, August 19th, 2010, at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second. Mr. Conboy, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Katamanian?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chirwinski?
Yes.
Monsino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight, under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 198-10, payment of bills, Resolution 199-10, confirmation of checks, Resolution 200-10, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 201-10, refund of permits from the Building Department for Temma General Contractors in the amount of $2,968. Resolution 202-10, approve license to sell new and used cars, ESSO. Resolution 203-10, appoint conflict building inspectors, which will be the Garfield Building Department. Resolution 204-10, approve the annual block party on Rudolph Avenue. Resolution 205-10, approve volunteer firefighter for Company 3, Chris Song. Resolution 206-10, refund cash performance bond, Gemstar Construction Corp. in the amount of $10,000. That was recommended by the borough engineer. Resolution 207-10, refund cash bond, Zoran Mitsky, $1,000. Resolution 208-10, refund overpayment of taxes for Carol Cases. Resolution 209-10, refund third-party tax lien for Amico. Resolution 210-10, refund overpayment of taxes due to appeal to the New Jersey Tax Court. Resolution 211-10, support over the limit under arrest 2010 statewide crackdown. And Resolution 212-10, approve employee mileage allowance amount, which is in accordance with the IRS regulations.
Thank you. Motion, please, on the consent calendar?
So moved.
Mr. Chirwinski, thank you.
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Castiglia, discussion?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor, I have a comment to make on this.
Go ahead.
Resolution 203-10. Let me go back a little over a year ago when I told you guys the proper way to do it, this is the proper way to do it. This resolution is the correct way to do it. only the code official has the power to appoint another code official from another town. The way it did last time was wrong, I think it was also illegal. And I questioned the council on this, but this is the way it should be done. You cannot, council and mayor don't have the power to appoint another guy from another code official from another town. It has to be done by the
You
code
want that
official
off
that we have.
You want that off the consent calendar?
Excuse me?
You want that off?
You want that off the consent calendar?
Well, no, this is the proper way to do it. I just want to tell you, remind you, this is correct. What you did last time was incorrect. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call on the consent agenda, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Sherwinski?
Yes.
Alcino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 213-10, and I advise the council that this is a revised resolution that was at your place this evening. Be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following named be and is hereby appointed as a counselor in the recreation program: Michael Polarata of Wayne, New Jersey, in the amount of $1,600 for the summer, effective retroactive to June 29, 2010. In addition, Regina Vollman, also of Wayne, New Jersey, as a bus driver for $16 an hour, effective today. Be it further resolved that the first appointment will be retroactive to June 29th.
Motion, please.
So moved.
I second.
Conboy, Mr. Catamania, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Sherwinski?
Yes.
Alcino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 214-10, whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park have determined that the improvements to Molnar Drive from the Saddlebrook border to the boulevard will qualify for the New Jersey Department of Transportation grant. And whereas, based on the review and recommendations from Boswell Engineering, a grant application has been prepared that does not comply with the requirements of the Department of Transportation. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park formally approves the grant application for the above stated project. Be it further resolved that the Mayor, Richard A. Mola, and the Municipal Clerk, Keith Kasmark, are hereby authorized to submit an electronic grant application identified as MA-2011 Borough of Elmwood Park 00195 to the New Jersey Department of Transportation on behalf of the Borough of Elmwood Park. Be it further resolved that the Mayor, Richard A. Mola, and Municipal Clerk Keith Kasmark are hereby authorized to sign the grant agreement on behalf of the Borough of Elmwood Park, and that their signature constitutes acceptance of the terms of the grant agreement and approves the execution of the grant agreement.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Testiglia, Mr. Catamania, discussion? This is to apply for a grant to complete Molnar Drive. We're going to be paving, and we're doing work on Molnar Drive now. It's going to go a little bit past East 54th Street. This application will bring us from where that ends to the boulevard. And while I'm talking about that, please keep in mind that around August, the beginning of August, August 4th or 6th, for 2 days, we're going to be paving and milling Molnar Drive. That will be done in the evening. That will be done in the evening because of the traffic that's involved on that particular street. So there will be 2 days, one there for milling and the one with the paving. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Sherwinski?
Yes.
Alcino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 215-10, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following is hereby appointed as temporary part-time fire subcode official in the Building Department: Charles Iyer of Hackensack, New Jersey. Be it further resolved, the remuneration for said appointment shall be in the amount of $30 per hour, retroactive to July 8, 2010, until such time as a provisional fire subcode official is appointed.
Motion, please.
I'll move it.
So moved.
Mr. Testiglia, Mr. Word. We're slow on the draw tonight, gentlemen. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Before discussion. We hired this guy, a temporary part-time fire sub-code official. I understand Mr. Bonanno has a license. What do we ask him if he want to work for $30 an hour?
We
He had a
did,
license.
we did ask him, he said yes.
What do you mean he said yes?
Mr. Bonanno?
He said yes, he took the job?
No, at the meeting, we said, would you take a part-time job? That's what you just
No,
said.
what I'm saying
No,
is,
that's fire
in this resolution,
I'm sorry.
you hire somebody else here, somebody new, from Hackensack. You could ask Mr. Bonanno. He has a similar license, and he was doing. this. What did we ask him if you want to do the job?
I don't know.
Did you
I
think about this?
The new inspector that we have there hired somebody that we needed somebody. Keith, you advertised for that, right?
Through you, Mayor, this is a temporary appointment. With the council's approval, if this is approved tonight, I will also move forward on advertising this position on the New Jersey League of Municipalities website. At that point, the council will have the opportunity to consider all applicants and make a determination whether or not they would like to hire a different inspector for this position. Be aware, however, that whoever you do hire will only be provisional and will be subject to a civil service test. And of course, if a veteran scores number 1 on the civil service test for this position, even after you hire someone provisionally, that person will have preference over all the other candidates.
Mr. Clark, this guy, John did this for the longest time. He was doing this.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
We had a fire inspector retired.
Yes, Eddie Feldman,
Ed Feldman
when he was
retired.
out, John was doing this.
So was Roy.
Okay.
Continue.
so-
Gentlemen, please, through the chair.
All right,
Sorry,
okay.
Mayor.
No, fine. I have nothing against this guy, whoever he is, but this is not fair.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
No,
Castiglia,
Yes.
Chawinski,
Yes.
Monsino is absent. Work,
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 216-10, whereas pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 40A:65-1 et seq., the Uniform Shared Services and Consolidation Act, local units may share services, and whereas municipalities throughout the state of New Jersey have been encouraged to enter such shared services agreements in order to consolidate services and preserve economic resources, and whereas the Borough of Elmwood Park and the Township of Rochelle Park have engaged in various discussions regarding the sharing of the construction official, building subcode official, and zoning official, and whereas recently the Township of Rochelle Park reduced its construction official, building subcode official, and zoning official from a full-time position to a part-time position for reasons of economy and efficiency, and whereas the Borough of Elmwood Park and the Township of Rochelle Park believe that it would be in the best interests of the municipalities to share the services of the individual currently serving in the aforementioned positions. And whereas it is the intent of this resolution to authorize an agreement for the sharing of such services to extend until the end of 2010 on a trial basis in order to confirm the feasibility of such an agreement and to confirm the fiscal responsibility of same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey as follows. 1. A shared services agreement with the Township of Rochelle Park be and is hereby authorized. 2. This agreement shall be in the form annexed hereunto or in such a form as approved by the Mayor and Council after consultation with the Borough Attorney. 3. The agreement shall be in compliance with this resolution and shall be in the furtherance of the provisions of the Uniform Shared Services and Consolidation Act, NJSA 40A:65-1 et seq. 4. This contract shall be for a period of 6 months, from July 1st, 2010 through December 31st, 2010, and shall be subject to a review, revision, modification, or renewal as the end of the calendar year 2010. The agreement shall provide, among other things, for the payment by the Borough of Elmwood Park in the sum of $4,638.90 per month to the Township of Rochelle Park, representing Elmwood Park's share of the cost of the shared services agreement employee. 6. The shared employee shall serve in the positions of construction official, building subcode official, and zoning official, and shall be required to perform all of the services and obligations of these positions for each municipality on a schedule to be determined. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the municipal clerk be and is hereby authorized and directed to forward certified copies within the resolution to the Township of Rochelle Park, Richard Bowen, the Borough Attorney, and the State of New Jersey Department of Community Affairs.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Work.
Second.
Mr. Work, any discussion?
yes, Mayor. Maybe I talked too much tonight, but first of all, the way this form was set up, that there's no space under my name for me to vote. They put Mr. Conboy's name there. You see that? Look at it.
Your name is above it, sir.
I can vote above, right? I guess you guys, I don't know, maybe this was planned that way. But anyhow, I don't think so anyhow. What I want to say is, first of all, you gotta understand, I am 100% in favor of shared services with the other communities. It's a good idea. This will save us a lot of money. But this particular share of services with Rochelle Park sounds a little fishy. I think that this was an excuse to fire Mr. Bonanno. This was done so fast, and I was appointed by the mayor to be in charge of personnel. And I asked the council that I want to discuss this with my committee. I was denied. They jumped right to vote, quick. I think this was a lack of respect. And I know I am the only Democrat on the council. You guys show no respect for me. And I was very disappointed with that. And also we know that Mr. Bonanno was willing to take a part-time job. He was willing to work half of the hours. It would cost us less than what we have today. Keep in mind that Rochelle Park's population is 6,000 people. Emmett Park, over 19,000 people. And Rochelle Park is willing to pay 50% of the cost. Something's wrong here. We are much busier than anybody else. I don't think it was fair to fire Mr. Bonanno or any employee in this situation. It's not fair. The guy worked for us for 14 years. Within a week, we asked him to leave, pack your bags and get out of here. Without any reason. Shared services, yes, I believe in that. It could have been done slower. Think about it. Instead, fast. Let's kick this guy out. I'm sorry. We shall not do this with anyone who works for the borough or any place else. It's not fair. Especially today, that people are looking for jobs. That's all I really want to say. This upsets me very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Mr. Caramagna, I'd just like to comment on my denying you as chairman of the Personnel Committee. I did that because I thought this was a big enough item that the whole council should do that, and that's what we did. We spoke about this 2 or 3 times with the entire council and not just the committee. I thought that's the fair way. As you know, I'm not very much in favor of the committee's meeting and then coming back. This is one where everybody was sitting there, everybody had the information, and everybody could have made comments on that. So I reject your...
Mayor, though, we need more time to discuss this.
Okay, well,
There are a lot of things we should bring up to the table. He didn't give me a chance to express myself, to talk about it. He went to a vote. Right away, quick.
No.
Everything done so fast.
I
At the moment when we are so busy with construction, when this is July and August, I could see if we talk about shared services, September, October, when the construction goes down. Oh my God. This goes down too fast.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Any other comments?
Yeah, Mayor, I would, and I've spoken to Councilman Caramagna on this issue, and I'm not, everyone here is entitled to their opinion, and I respect his feeling for it and so forth. But I do feel I just cannot sit here this evening and let myself, I don't know how the rest of the council members feel, I think it's only fair to say that the portrayal of this, how this procedure went down, to be fishy or that it was rushed, I feel is unfair. I'm not disagreeing with Councilman Caramagna on his feelings. I'm just disagreeing on the procedure that went through here. There was debate. We had the mayor and a council person who's liaison to building in Rochelle Park. Here, I think it's only fair that for the TV, and I know they see there's a reporter here and a few folks that are in the audience, it's only fair that you know what would happen, how this process went. The mayor of Rochelle Park came here himself. His liaison, a councilwoman from Rochelle Park, also came. We had discussions with them. We also then had another meeting with Mr. Bowen, who's now running the building department. There was plenty of times, there was plenty of Q&A, a lot of discussion to ask his qualifications, to go over all the particulars. I think in those meetings, some other issues were more important to individuals that I'm not going to get into, but there was a discussion, there was meetings. This was not rushed through. I don't see it that way at all. I think I could say this. Everybody on this council is going through difficult times, as well as all of you, and all the people who live in Elmwood Park, and of course throughout the country. But I may have said this before, maybe it seems a little overdone, but I certainly know what it's like to be unemployed. I was out there for 15 months, fear of your children's education, your home, and everything else. So this was not an easy process for any of us here, but I will say that I thought we went through it professionally, and that's all I'd just like to say, man.
Thank you. Any other comments? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
No.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Chawinski,
Yes.
Monsino is absent. Work,
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight we have no reports and no raffle licenses, so right on to committee reports.
Committee reports, Mr. Work, are you ready, or do you want me to start with Mr. Caramagna?
We'll start.
Okay.
Just regarding the Elmwood Park Health Department, is still continuing the free clinics for the residents of Elmwood Park. Once again, these clinics are the adult consultation clinic and the child health care clinic. The next adult consultation clinic will be held August 17th from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. And these are for walk-in residents are welcome. No appointments are needed for this. Basically, there'll be a registered nurse from Hackensack Hospital there. It'll be held in a private clinic room in a municipal building. And free blood pressure screening and confidential health information will be available for all adults, from 18 years and older. The child health clinic, the next one is being held on August 5th, 2010, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. That's third coming Thursday. That's by appointment only. The clinic includes free immunizations for infants up to 18 years old residents of Elmwood Park. Pediatrician and registered nurse are on site, and this is for well children without health insurance coverage and those not enrolled in New Jersey Family Care. And just to let you know, as I said in the past, the Elmwood Park Department of Health has enrolled as a provider for the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act program, which provides 6 important vaccines for any citizen of New Jersey. The Elmwood Park Board of Health is going to offer these vaccines at no charge to Elmwood Park residents and $15 for non-residents. And just to let you know, the Board of Health has received 4 of these vaccines, as a matter of fact, this morning. The 4 vaccines that are available are as follows. The Pneumovax, the vaccine used for pneumonia prevention. Gardasil, the vaccine used to prevent HPV. Menactra, the vaccine used for prevention of meningitis. And Adazole, which is a first tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis booster vaccine, which is available for both adolescents and adults from 11 years through 64 years of age. And these vaccines will be made available during adult consultation in child health clinics. And please call Debbie Ritchie at area code 201-796-1072 for further information or about scheduling an appointment. And that's it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Conboy?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to give my brief mayor report. I got to be mayor for a couple of days. I just want to report everything went well, and I'm disappointed that my fellow councilpersons didn't let me rename my street. I tried that, Mayor, but they wouldn't go for it. Sorry I haven't returned the executive key yet to the bathroom, but I will this evening.
The door swings open.
Maybe I'm using the wrong room. So, but the town wasn't, thank God nothing seriously happened. First, I'd just like to congratulate all of our spring baseball and softball teams, all of our young men and women. They had a phenomenal season throughout the spring. If you've been catching the community news or if you've been hearing from the kids themselves, we've had a few of them here at the meetings. Both are, all of the boys playing baseball right now. It's all travel season time for them. They're doing a great job representing our team. All of our young ladies playing softball did a phenomenal job, and they're all working hard to win a couple of district championships, and they've done a nice job. Both the baseball leagues had a chance to host some tournament games here, and I'd just like to congratulate I hope I'm not stealing any thunder from my Councilman Castiglia, but I just want to say, as liaison to recreation, being down by the complex, DPW did a beautiful job, and a lot of people who came from out of town said this is really a premier park. And we've heard that for years now, but it's always nice to continue to hear it. They were really out there doing a great job. Just want to remind everybody it's not too late yet to become part of a great history program, our Bomber football program and cheerleaders. They've won a lot of championships and Super Bowls and cheerleading titles. Registration's still going on, so support your town Bombers, folks, and get out there for registration. Registration's still also going on for soccer, folks. We have a great season lined up, so please don't forget to sign up. I know it's summertime, everyone kind of forgets, but don't forget to sign up. A couple of new items, hopefully people are catching. I know there's a banner out on the corner over by Molnar and Boulevard. The sign is also flashing. We're going to host our first ever Spray Grounds Teen Night this Friday. I hope a lot of our teens come out. It's a night just scheduled for them to come on out with DJ, music, snacks, and so forth. I hope our young teens come out and enjoy that evening. Also, myself and the rest of the mayor and council and Councilman Vancino, who's a liaison to the police department, and myself with rec. We've been working with all the department heads for a national night out. This is something that we've gotten away from for a while, mostly due to attendance. So this year, working with the police chief, DPW, the ambulance corps, I don't want to leave anybody out of here, recreation, all our department heads, DPW. National Night Out is on August 3rd. It's going to be taking place over at Borough Field. We have this great big policeman's jumpy ride for the children. All the residents of Elmwood Park who attend and show proof of residency will get a free Italian ice, hot dog, water. There'll be snacks for sale. There's going to be a foul shooting contest. You can enter by getting fingerprinted for all of our children, I think from the age of 10 to 15, I believe. You can see the shopper for more details. Folks, please come out and support this nice night. The police will be there doing demonstrations. The fire department's going to talk about showing how they dismantle a vehicle if, God forbid, they come across an accident scene. The ambulance corps will be there. People from the county will be there. The sheriff's department, all the different things talking about how to keep your neighborhood safe from crime. So please come on out for National Night Out on August 3rd down by the rec center. Just another little two updates. Couple updates, I'm sorry. So far we've been having, as I've been promoting, plus you've seen it in the shopper, we've been having on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have the Spray Grounds opened. The heat's helping us, so there's been a great attendance on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So far, on average, we're getting in the neighborhood of about 20 folks at night. I've spoken to some of the parents down there who work weekends. Either mom's working or dad's working. They love the fact they can come down to Spray Grounds for a couple hours and spend some time with their kids. And if you haven't seen the new Spray Ground flooring, it actually looks pretty awesome. So I would suggest you check that out. For those folks who live down by the English Park Avenue, we're starting to make some improvements down there. The DPW's done a great job cleaning up along the creek, and the new fence will be going in shortly. And something else we've been working on at the HUD in stages. The HUD is getting remodeled and getting refinished. Folks, this monies are coming out of the monies. We're trying to keep the expense down low. It's not coming from tax dollars. We're using it out of the Recreation Trust. We've been getting some great pricing from some local contractors, and the HUD's going to have a nice little look at it in the next couple of weeks. The outside as well as some of the inside work that's been done. So I hope that report was juicy. I hope I didn't overdo it. Overcook it.
You never
Get
overcook it. I just want to come.
Shopper, get it?
I'll state that one out. The spray ground that's being used in the evening and on Sunday, with the extraordinary heat we are having, you are getting quite a few young people there on those particular days utilizing the spray ground, which is good. In the past, if it's not that warm, sometimes you don't get them, but it's certainly come in handy this week. Mr. Caramagna?
Private, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Truinsky?
Yeah, briefly, Mayor. I was out of town during the fire department meeting, but I did make the JIF meeting in Lodi this past Wednesday. The lost time accident frequency rate is dropping rather rapidly this time of year for some odd reason. They don't know why, which is good for us. There'll be a traffic safety meeting for the police, the DPW, for all the local towns on 8/11 in Lodi. And on a short note, probably you know this guy, Mayor Joe Vasa, one of the first executive director of the JIF Joint Insurance Fund for the towns has passed away. He's responsible for starting the JIF, which is one of the biggest insurance companies in the United States at this time, and also for saving over $1 billion to the towns.
Thank you. I have to indicate that I was very much in favor of the community going into JIF, and we've saved literally hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years by being in JIF. So that was a smart move. We don't go out and get an outside insurance company. We work with other communities, and it's a joint. JIF is a joint cooperation between I think it's about 17 communities.
Oh, it's more than that now.
But yeah, but
In our area, 17
in our area,
Bergen,
yeah.
Bergen area, yes.
Mr. Castiglia, thank you.
It's going to be a short one, short report. We had a planning board public meeting on the 14th. There's a couple of new businesses coming into town. A new dry cleaner will be opening up at 231 Market Street. It's the kind of dry cleaner, we won't be doing any of the work on the site, so it's a nice clean operation. People are going to be dropping off the things they need cleaned. He's going to have them cleaned at a site somewhere, a different location, not here. So basically the store is going to be for dropping off and picking up, so it should be nice and clean, no noise, no odor. Also, we have a beauty salon. It seems like I'm announcing a beauty salon every month. There's a beauty salon coming out on Route 46 near the Sunrise Luncheonette. And we have a mortgage solutions office coming in on Route 46. That's the old site for 1001 Auto Parts. The type of operation that it will be, there won't be a lot of clientele coming in and out of the building. So that also helps out a lot there with traffic. Not a lot of people exiting that parking lot or entering. That's about it, Mayor. Everything's slow. It's summer.
Thank you. Mr. Giblin? No. Thank you. Just want to comment, and Mr. Kazmark, if you would double check on it. There was authorization given by this council at the past work meeting to buy a small bike rack to place on the parking lot, the park and ride on Route 46 in the Boulevard. There's been a couple requests of having a bike rack there. Somebody wants to ride their bike to the parking lot, take the bus to New York City instead of leaving their car because the lots are getting full. So, Mr. Kazmark, if you can see if that's been ordered, and we'll try to put that in the front of the lot so that there's no tampering of the bicycles on that. It's a good suggestion, and I'm pleased the council went along with it. I did contact Ron Dooney of the people who are doing the DEP work at Cinco Paint. They're doing all the environmental work there so that we can either do something with the building or tear the building down. And he indicated to me that they're just waiting for us to send them the request to do this work. We sent that in March. So it's now July, and it's been there since March, so that sometimes these people get the things confused. So Mr. Kazmark is going to check that again tomorrow and issue a second copy of what we asked them to do. The park and ride down here on River Road, they're still in the process of doing the outline of that and doing all the work that's necessary before it goes out for bid. The building department's new hours, I have them here. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the inspector will be here in Elmwood Park 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. And on Tuesday and Thursday, he'll be here 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 to 11, Tuesday and Thursday, 12 to 4. And this is some good news. I just found out today. The county appears made a $4,797,000 mistake on the open space fund, so this borough will be getting $67,560.43 refund on the 2010 open space program. So if they're giving us back $4,700,000, I hope that's not part of the money the county was planning to use for the Overpeck Parks.
Mayor, they already spent that.
Celebrated it already.
That's gone.
Well, yeah, but they're going to have to find more money for other items. It'll still come out just to keep it clean and to do things of that nature. So thank you. That's my report. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard at this time? Please raise your hand. Young lady on this side, please, come up to the microphone. Give us your name and address, please.
Donna Bodner, 65
You
Fournier
can pull that
Crescent.
down a little bit.
Donna Bodner, 65 Fournier Crescent. We have a big problem with parking on Fournier Crescent. If there was ever a fire, people would be killed because you can't get through. In the morning, the bus drivers honk their horns for people to come out and move their car, or they yell to send the kids down the block. And if we have a park that's not being taken care of, maybe we need to do something with the park and make it a parking lot to get the cars off the street. You can't even get through the street. Or if you have somebody parked in front of your driveway, you can't get out of your driveway. It's the worst it's ever been, and I've lived there all my life, and you can't, it's unsafe.
May I ask you a question? Okay. We'll turn this over to the police department and see what they come up. Maybe you'll have parking on one side of the street. Would you think it'd be a good idea to have parking on one side of the street only?
Yeah, and I also think if we're not using our park, because it's a disgrace up there, and I have...
Let's stay on one thing at a time.
No, but I'm saying if we're not going to use the park, you could make that a parking lot and get all the cars off the street, and make people pay a little bit of money to park.
Well, that would...
I mean, because the park isn't being utilized, and we have this problem with the parking, then we could kill two birds with one stone.
Well, we'll have the police chief check that out and see if he can come up with a proposal on it.
Okay, thank you.
Just one
Thank
second. Are you saying that park is underused?
It's a disgrace. It's not
Is
under...
it used, people, and there's nobody in there?
You can't use it. I don't know if any of you have ever been up there. There's no swings. The leaves have been up there for 10 years. There's broken glass. There's trees all over the place. It doesn't get taken care of.
I don't want to disagree with you, but I've been up there a couple of times. The DPW does go up. It needs some work on it.
No, excuse me. If you go up there, and you could say you go up there, and I'm not going to disagree with you because I don't know if you're up there, but we clean behind our fence every time it's up there. The other guy cleans behind his fence, and it's not our weeds. It's your poison ivy that's coming through.
Okay, we'll have the DPW go out and check it again.
We've asked for 2 months for the DPW to go up there.
They've been up there, I know they have.
No, they have not. They don't clean up the top. I mean, we've lived there. I've lived there for 40 years, sir. And for you to sit here and tell me they've been up there, you come up and see the leaves that have been up there for 10 years.
Okay,
I
thank
mean,
you.
to say they're up there, why don't we could go up there tonight, and I could disagree with you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? Gentleman in the back.
It's freezing in here. What is the air conditioner? Let's get down there.
All this air conditioning, my God.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Peter Marklis. I'm a local business owner. I'm not a resident. We have 3 business concerns in town which own about 30 acres or more here in town. So we're a significant taxpayer. We're very interested in how this town runs and the success of this town, business-wise and other. I have 2 questions. Excuse me. I have a question and a comment. First of all, can the council please give me an idea what the status is of a light rail station that might be positioned in Elmer Park, and where it might be and when?
The light rail will go through on the regular railroad tracks that goes right by your place now on the boulevard. When that's going to take place, a couple of years from now, I don't have any figure that I can tell you that they're going to do it right away.
Okay. All right.
So
Thank you.
it's not in the near future.
Okay. All right.
By the way, if in fact they do go through with that, when that goes, it's only going to Hackensack. That's going to be
It's
part
not
of the
going
problem.
all in New York.
I understand.
So, how many people from here are going to take a train to go to Hackensack? And until they get it to go right to the city,
Right.
then I think people will use it. But just to go to so it's a few years down the road. It's a good idea.
Well, it's a great way to attract some business to town and certainly workers to town. So it's going to help somehow the economy.
Right.
The other side of the coin, if I may, Mayor, is that the DOT, the mayor's been working on a parking ride down here for 3-4 years now,
Absolutely.
and it's been brushed aside, which is an ideal spot for a parking ride. Get the bus, go to New York,
Right.
and that's been backburning forever.
Okay.
One of the problems, if I can just, one of the problems I've always had as a freeholder, as a mayor, we put light rail in to get them into the city. We put park and ride to get them into the city on the bus to keep the cars off the road. And then we use a stimulus package to repave Route 80 so it's smoother and faster so people can get it. If they're going to stay in their cars to get on Route 80 to go to New York, you're not going to get them to get out of their cars to go on the park and use the light rail.
Right.
I'm not saying we shouldn't pave Route 80, but you can't keep improving both areas and expect people to give up their cars.
Okay.
People like their cars.
I don't want to use up all my 3 minutes on your reply.
I don't have a time limit, especially for you.
Thank you. Well, our three businesses, 35 Market Street, Green Acre Woodland, and also 465 Boulevard in Elmwood Park. We value our relationship with the community. There's been very good services and support from the community. I'm very concerned about the losing a full-time building official here in town. Over the many years, John Bonanno has been extremely supportive and creative in bringing ideas and helping resolve problems. By no means a pushover. It was always very by the law and what was regulated. He always stuck by that, but he was always very creative. I don't think there was a month that went by that I didn't get a call to say, "Oh, Peter, I just heard from a local business owner, and we're trying to resolve a problem with space that they need, and maybe there's one way that your business can also benefit by talking to that business owner." Or maybe from somebody from out of town who is looking for space in town to lease. John was always great in facilitating that, networking, but more important, he was a man that was there full-time. He could answer questions, he could look at plans and say, go to this department, talk to the zoning board, talk to the planning board. This is where you're going to get your answers and get resolution. I think by having a part-time shared services, and believe me, I'm also in agreement with the councilman over here, that shared services are a great way for the state to move with its different municipalities. But here was a man that was working full-time. He was receiving, I don't know how much in terms of annual salary, $70,000, maybe $80,000. On a monthly basis, it seems like the town is going to be paying somebody to do the job on a part-time, one half the time served, yet they're going to be paid almost as much as this man that was working full-time. It doesn't seem to jive, and my concern is, our local businesses, are we going to get served properly so that we can do work, so that we can help this town's economy, and are we going to suffer as a result of maybe a very small gain that the town is going to see on a small salary-wise, but is it going to hamper the community in terms of business growth, in terms of helping local businesses maintain, and that's important in this terrible real estate market and business climate, just to maintain business, are we going to lose services? So that's my comment.
To answer just a couple of your questions, this is only a 6-month contract. It goes until the end of December, and then it'll be renewed in December if it works out. There's a $55,000 savings on going part-time, and that's cut in half because it's July. But if it's continued next year, there'll be a $55,000 savings on it.
Okay.
But we'll see how it works out. The council voted for it. We'll see what happens, and by December, if everything's working smooth, they can either continue it or go to something else.
I appreciate your answer. I guess the last comment is, for a 6-month test, a man's life has been disrupted tremendously.
That's true.
A man that's worked for 13, 14 years, very dedicated to the community, and I think another way could have been done to save money for the community. But I thank you.
Thank you.
Peter, if I may.
Yes.
Just on a short note, I stopped by the building department today, talked to our tech assistant, the girl, Karen. All our permits at this time are caught up. The biggest problem they have there right now is 30 permits sitting on the desk waiting to be picked up at this time. On another note, to say that the savings is trivial, it's not trivial, Peter. $55,000 is substantial. And unfortunately, when you do it with shared services, it does hurt somebody. Just like teachers have been laid off, police have been laid off, not for shared services, but teachers have been laid off. It's happening across the state economy, and it's going to get even more shared services on everything the way this governor's going. And unfortunately, we're in that position where we have to take and make some hard decisions. Don't forget, we laid off one building inspector the year before that, which was hard to take. And if we can get the job done the way it's going, we will. And by the way, this man is putting in more time than we're paying him for. Usually it's a 16-hour or 32-hour week. He's putting in 20 hours according to our agreement. So it's on his dime. Okay?
Mr. Kazmark wants to make
If I could just clarify, myself and the clerk in Rochelle Park, along with the two respective attorneys from the two municipalities, and this council spent a lot of time working on this agreement. And the term part-time has been thrown around quite often relative to this decision that both governing bodies have made. And I think that the term part-time is somewhat misplaced, because the model that was discussed in the meetings leading up to this decision was a comparison to a doctor who may have an office in Hackensack and may have an office in Clifton. And when you make that appointment, you're making that appointment for a day, he's going to be in Clifton because you may live in Passaic County. Where another patient's making an appointment for a day to see that doctor because they live in Bergen County in Hackensack. He is available and accessible to Elmwood Park residents from 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, with the exception of the lunch period. Meaning if an Elmwood Park resident has a concern and he happens to be in Rochelle Park during that time period, he is going to accept phone calls and inquiries from Elmwood Park residents and business owners. In addition to that, we continue to have a technical assistant who is here full-time, and we also have a housing inspector who does have certain licenses and can be helpful to residents also on a full-time basis. So I think the concept of, he's only going to be here during these hours, physically you're correct, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be accessible around the clock during business hours to the residents of the borough.
I appreciate your answer, and I hope it works. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Mr. Conti?
I haven't seen him in a while. I hope I don't see him in a while.
Maybe nobody dies.
We don't want to see him laying down.
Mr. Conti, you haven't been here for a while. You're coming up with a list. I hope that after 25, you'll slow down.
It's been a while. I'll be quick, as fast as I can, actually. What's happening with the Chamberlain Ave issue with the old Independent Social Club? There's a lot of construction going on there. There are cars all over the place.
That was approved by the zoning board, I believe. The new gas station going in.
What about Unger Foods, which is still vacant on Chamberlain Avenue?
Yes.
Yeah. Anything happening with it?
Not that I know of. Those things don't necessarily come across my desk.
Okay. River Road, going into Fairlawn, after you go past the Route 4 underpass actually, there's still dead trees on the right. There's a lot of overgrowth over there. Is any of that going to be cleaned up?
I've made some calls to the county. That's a county road, and those trees, the trunks that are there, were cut down by public service, and they'll have to move them. I've got my fingers crossed that they'll come within a reasonable time to move those out. They're big trunks. They just have to cut them. They can cut them up in small pieces and leave them there. People will take them.
With that open space money that we're going to get back from the county, why don't you use that to do work at the English Avenue Park?
That comes back and goes into our funds, and then we can see we're going to do that next year. Unanticipated revenue.
Where do we stand with the county park here?
We still have to have a meeting with them. The gentleman we were supposed to meet with was in a bicycle accident, and another meeting has to be set up.
Car accident. You got hit by a car accident.
Well, he was on a bicycle in the car.
Any news from the county where they're going to redesign the Market Street Boulevard east and west for that left turn signal?
Yep. We're working on that. They're still trying to get easements from the people. Am I correct on that, Mr.? Yes. So, yeah, they're giving us a little bit of a problem getting those easements.
What are they doing? I see cars every morning on the overpass underneath on River Road. 3 or 4 cars parked on the right-hand side along the river. And there's a porta potty there. Can you tell me what they're doing over there?
Where is that?
On River Road.
Yeah, where on River Road?
Going into, as you go underneath the Route 4 overpass.
Oh, okay. I guess they're working on something on Route 4. The porta potty's there. I never.
No, I mean it's underneath the overpass on River Road.
I don't see anybody working there.
Yeah, I can try to figure it out myself. Okay, see, it's not too bad so far, right?
Notice it. Yeah, I saw a padlock on it the other day when I passed by. I thought the construction guys were using it.
Well, I don't know what they're constructing.
Can you tell me if the River Road property, the old Hillman property, Mr. Langen has, how many fines has he gotten for not maintaining the property?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Fines. We have a maintenance code in this town, don't we?
Yeah, he's got to clean that up. He cleaned some of it up on River Road, and he's got to go in and clean the rest up.
It looks like a jungle.
You're certainly right.
So now that he won his suit with COA, we're putting in affordable housing?
Yeah, about 50 units.
Just 50?
Yeah.
So when is Gander Avenue going to come for an expansion of their school?
We don't know when they're going to be putting those units in. This is a state rule, went to court, and we lost.
I understand that, but still, the closest school is Gander. Gander's going to look for an expansion.
Well, I don't know if they'll have that many students in there.
Mm-hmm, okay. I haven't been here in a while, so, is Mr. Casbar's classification borough clerk with administrative duties, or is he the borough administrator?
Borough clerk with administrative duties.
Slash hits.
I'm sorry?
It's
Borough clerk with administrative duties.
Why don't we just make the administrator?
That's a long question.
No, I got all the time in the world.
Well, we didn't do that.
Is there a reason why?
Ask the council. The reason why, I'll tell you why I didn't want administrative.
Okay.
I think you're doing a good job as clerk. I think we're saving a lot of money by just giving him some additional responsibility and handling it that way.
Can he discipline personnel?
Yes.
Yes, he can.
Okay. Is this building inspector part-time in just 2 towns or 4 towns?
He's part-time with the contract with Rochelle Park. I think he does work in other communities, but he's part-time with Rochelle Park.
So he's part-time in 4 towns?
No.
No. He's part-time with us and Rochelle Park. That's the agreement. He's working in other communities, but that's on his own time after hours.
Like I said, he's part-time in 4 towns.
No, Steve, that's wrong. That's wrong.
How is it wrong?
If you go after hours, if you have an 8-hour job and you go work at Home Depot in the middle of the night, that's on your own time. That's not a part-time job. It's a part-time job to you, but not to us. That's wrong. I take exception to that.
I was curious on how Mr. Banana was fired. Was he actually on vacation?
No.
No, we just, the council looked at the contract with Rochelle Park and wanted to go with that contract.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of time is he given to clean out his office?
I don't know. Keith, how much time was he given to clean out his office?
Mr. Casmark, no time. I think they just...
I just think it's, no offense to anybody here. Your employees in your town, the way they are dismissed, if they're not dismissed properly, I think it gives a bad impression to your other employees. And in business, you certainly don't leave a message on someone's cell phone. And that's the story that I heard. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. But you still have to show them some bit of respect, considering he's been an employee in town for 14 years. I agree with shared services. I mean, expenses are, through the roof these days, okay? Asking employees to take furloughs or giving more in terms of paying for their benefits may eventually come in this town like it did in Garfield with the police, okay? But there are proper business ways of going about dismissing an employee. And I just don't think the stories I've heard were done properly. Thank you.
Through you, Mayor, Mr. Conti,
Hold on, wait, anyone else who wishes to be heard?
I apologize. Oh, Keith, say what you got to say.
Through you, Mayor, the proper layoff procedures in this case and in previous cases where we have had layoffs during my tenure here have been done properly.
Okay.
They have been done through official correspondence.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk specifically about this personnel matter, but I can guarantee you that no layoff has ever been communicated to an employee through a phone call or a cell phone message. So whoever gave you that information was 100% unilaterally incorrect in spreading it.
Okay, I'll tell you who it was later.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir.
It's really cold in here.
Victor, can I have your name and address for the record, please? You don't know?
You'll have it on record anyway.
I have it on every minutes, but reset.
Victor Mikulovsky, 8 Augusta Street.
Got it.
I hope you guys are having a great summer, and I just heard before you guys paving a new road. That's great. And you have a nice police department helping me out organizing a protest. That was great. But I have a problem. PSEG, right? That's what it's called, right? Under the Parkway underpass it's between CVS and that Elmwood Park Diner, like on that road, there's like, it used to be filled up. It used to be like a little gas, inspection. You know how they drill holes in there? They filled it up. They did a bad job. And now when I drove my bike, I hit a hole. I fell. I nearly went into oncoming traffic. But I looked at the hole, and it's about a foot, wide. And I don't know how deep it is. It was a gas inspection thing, so I can predict that it's 3 feet deep. But it's a foot wide, and I have a picture on my camera today.
This is in the street, and public service did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Kazmark will contact public service and have them go back and look at it.
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Something big and heavy ran over it at really high speed, and, that's a big hole. It's going to get bigger if we don't fix it. And I'm wondering, if they filled it and a truck ran over it and the hole was caused, does that company have to fix it or the town has to fix it?
PSE&G would have to fix it.
Okay. And like most of you know already about the 25 holes in Glenwood Ave, right? It's probably where you live, Irma. Yeah, 25 holes, 3 feet deep. Yeah, I took Castiglia's advice to call them up. Took me a couple of days to call them, and finally they gave me a call back today that they're going to fill it up as soon as possible. They said it's from
I'm
March.
sorry, I didn't hear the beginning of that. You're talking about which street?
Glenwood Ave.
Glenwood Ave?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
By now this section's by Linwood and Maple Ave, between there. I think I already discussed it with you in the work meeting. Am I show you those pictures?
Yes.
It's horrible pictures, right?
I have a meeting, a tentative meeting with public service to bring them in with Scott Cars and any of the council who wants to attend to talk about the repair.
Some of the great work they're doing, yeah.
The repair they do in our roads, and then they end up sinking again and having them come back. So that's in the planning stage.
They're going to fill up these holes. Everybody can see it now. Right? It's going to have the, unique dip. There's a signature, dip inside there, and the trucks can run over it. And the cars actually park where those holes are. So once they fill it up, it's going to come like a hole like there is under the, Parkway, underpass. It's 25 holes in that street. It's going to happen. Again, can we send someone there to watch them how they fill it up? You're messing up over there? Can we tell somebody to inspect them after they're done filling it up?
That's what my meeting is going to be about.
When's this meeting going to be?
When?
Yeah.
I don't have a date yet.
When you do, can you give me a phone call, but maybe I'll come down here.
It's the summer, it's vacation time.
That's right.
Okay, so it's very difficult to set a meeting up.
Is it going to be public, post-meeting, or?
It may be, yeah.
So
you want to come?
Yeah, sure. I'll come there, right? First speaker right there,
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else who wish to be heard? Yes, sir, Mr. Schwinn. Yes, unless you've changed your name, Bill.
Steve's done. Steve had his 10 minutes.
Bill Schwinn, Beach Street. First of all, Councilman Conboy, you're to be congratulated for the budget. $521,000 is not easy to scrape together, but apparently you went through all of the different organizations and you got $10,000 here and 25 cents there and what have you, and it looks like you made the grade. The total budget was $25,648,000. Now, my first question, the municipal budget, what was that?
The municipal budget, if I can, Mr. Conboy, the municipal budget takes care of the municipality as opposed...
What was it? I know that. What was it?
Everything. Parks, police, DPW.
What's the number?
Oh, the number.
Yeah, how much?
That's it.
You remember the exact number? 25. 25 million.
That's the total budget. That's the total
No,
budget,
that's total
isn't it?
budget for us.
That's our budget.
That's our budget. You have to add 70% of your taxes, that's the school board.
That's not the school budget.
No, it's not the school budget, Bill.
How is that compared to last year? It's 25 million this year. What was it last year?
I can tell you in a second, sir.
Do we have those numbers?
I can tell you in a second.
Was it higher, lower? I heard a rumor that it was lower. This 25 million is lower.
Last year?
No, this year.
This year's lower than last year?
That's the rumor I heard.
Yeah, 25,648,000.
That's this year.
Right. I don't have last year's. I don't have that number. We can get it for you, Bill. You can.
Well,
I think it's lower.
Does that include the
It
education?
probably is lower. Taxes go up and the budget goes up
I don't
every
care
year.
about that. I have a specific reason why I'm asking these questions.
Give us the reason.
See, what's the reason? First of all, let me ask another question.
Okay.
Does that include the educational budget?
No. 70% of your taxes goes to the Board of Education.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. This does not include that. This does not include the open space money that we're getting $67,000 back, and this does not include the money we pay to the county for the freeholder board.
Well, then this is your municipal budget.
Correct.
Our municipal budget is the 25 million. When you put all those other things in there, it comes out to significantly more.
Well, you know, I've been reading this community news here, and
Wait a
what
minute,
they're
Mr.
doing...
Kazmark has it. Hold on a minute.
This year's total general appropriations equal $25,648,978. Last year's total general appropriations were $22,429,279.
Okay, that's what I wanted. We had an increase then.
Yes.
Okay. I heard that we didn't have an increase, that's why I'm asking that question. And that one, now I can understand why our taxes went up a couple of $100. I still don't understand why, what's the total budget? How much did the educational budget go up? 12.5% or something like that?
I don't, do you have a number on that?
I don't, it's right there, Keith.
I mean, we pay for this stuff. This is your tax structure. And we seem to be having I don't know what happened here. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is, let's put the whole thing together. You said you had a $233 increase in taxes. Now, what about the educational thing?
The educational budget, we don't have control over. That went out for...
Yeah, but we pay for it. I don't care. I know that.
I don't have that number, Bill. You have the number?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I do not have the educational budget on this computer. What I do have, because the school budget this year passed. So by virtue of the fact that it passed, the municipality was not supplied with the full document of the 2010-2011 school budget. That would be available from the Board of Education office. What I do have in my financial file, if you'd like to come into the office tomorrow, is the tax levy figures that equate the entire tax increase or the entire amount to be paid in taxes from the municipality, the local school district, the county, and the county open space trust fund. So if you'd like to see that document, that's available for review.
Mr. Schwinn, may I just say something? I've just been notified we have 5 minutes. If you can conclude in 5 minutes, then he doesn't have to put another tape in.
No, we got a temporary tax thing the other day.
Right.
And that shows, I believe in my tax, I think it shows about $200. Now, is this going to be it, the $200 tax increase
It'll
for
be
the
very
year?
close. Our budget will be very close, yes.
Okay. Now, I can expect a $200 increase, and that's it.
Yeah, it'll be around that number, I guess.
Give or take a few bucks, we don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That's going to be it.
236.
Okay.
Something like that.
This article here, it does indicate that the reason it's $200 more is because the municipal budget went up. That's what this says.
School board budget went up, county went up, open space went up, other went up.
This thing doesn't say that. It says
they're only-
nothing except the municipal
But they're only
budget.
talking about the municipal portion.
Mayor, I think what he's getting at is what is the actual, how much dollars did it go up for municipality without the school board, the county, out of that 200?
I mean, if we got a budget, don't you include the education system and pay for that?
No, that article is only about the the municipal budget. That does not include the school budget.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay. Mr. Fasolo?
Stop. Mayor,
I'll get that.
Mayor,
Yeah, gentlemen, may I have a motion to
Yes, Mayor.
Sure.
So moved.
recess for a minute?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Castiglione, second by Mr. Conboy, all in favor, opposed, so ordered? Okay.
We also lost in state aid, 19% cut.
Gentlemen, may I have a motion to continue the meeting? Moved by Mr. Conboy, second by Mr. Work, all in favor, opposed, so ordered. Mr. Schwinn, the increase for the municipal portion, you don't have to get up, no, don't get up. Don't get up. Municipal portion went up $143.
Yeah. It was just explained to me by the fellow here that prints this paper. He
Okay,
says he neglected to put the educational budget in there, but the whole thing is in there.
okay.
I got the
Okay.
answer, see?
Okay, you just gave him a promotion, too. He doesn't print the paper. He's gonna get a lot of money next
And
year.
he deserves it.
Okay. Mr. Fasolo?
Yes, Frank Fasolo, former councilman, current candidate, and hello to all of you tonight. From what I understand on this discussion now, the taxes went up 3.2 million from last year to this year?
Went up how much? Yes, something.
$3.2 million in 1 year. Am I correct?
I don't have the
I just
budget.
did the math real quick, but in change.
That's, through you, Mayor, Mr. Fasolo, that's the total budget, not necessarily the tax increase.
Well, you said it was $25,648.
That's the total appropriations.
Okay, and last year was $22,429. So it's a little over $3 million.
That's the total amount of the budget.
Okay.
But that, of course, is not all raised through taxation.
Well, I'm here because the town has faced for many years with the issue of parking. We all know that we have that situation. And a lot of the parking in some of the neighborhoods, we all know, was being blamed on the two-family homes that through many years have been either built or converted with the approval of the local zoning and planning boards. At the same time, some of the conversions that were converted into two families were left with single driveways. Sometimes, I guess, they want to widen the driveway in order to take a car off the street and get it in their house. But sometimes they're faced with coverage issues. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
In the past, many of these homes that have been built as two families are taking down an older home that is basically on the range of paying between $5,500 and $8,000 in taxes. The newer homes now are paying between $18,000 and $22,000 in taxes. So through all these years that development was moving on before the recession, those increases on that single property were keeping at bay the local taxes. Now, if I do, my economics is correct, I mean, I would think you will agree with that. What you're going to be doing now, when you change some of these zones, is stopping that flow. That extra income coming in, knocking down that small cape in that two-family zone, and reaping the benefit of taking in $20,000 in revenue. At the same time, increasing the value of the community. And try to keep at bay the tidal wave that's across the river. I know that this is going to ultimately pass, but to pass it just as fast as you fired the building inspector, you should at least phase it in, as Councilman Troitsky stated tonight, because some of these homes right now, some people have for sale signs on it. Some of these resales and purchasers look at it and pay the extra premium of an extra $30,000 or $40,000 because the house is sitting on a two-family lot. You may not be assessing it on that, but in the eyes of the builder or developer, and I point this to Mr. Truinsky, if I'm incorrect, please correct me, you're willing to pay the extra premium because you can get the extra unit in the house. Those people that are sitting on these properties now, that are unaware of it, regardless of the letter that you sent with the map that just looked like a bunch of ink smeared on it, they're going to ultimately lose value in their home. The ones that have a for sale sign in now have to basically call their realtor at the end of the month and say, hey, we're going to have to reduce the price because the people think that they're calling for a two-family house and they can't do nothing with it. Sure, part of what you're going to do is you can build a two-family in Elmwood Park, but you need a 75-foot frontage. That's rare and far in between anywhere in Elmwood Park, very rare. So my question to you is, in promoting smart growth for this community and its future, how do you plan on making up the difference on the losses that you're going to get because you're not having this development? And how are you going to answer when the people wake up out of their caves that didn't show up at that one meeting you had?
First of all, if I may, you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, you're right. If it's a two-family home, you're getting more tax. But you're now spending between $12,000 and $14,000 per student. If you have a two-family home, rather than a one-family home, the one-family home, many of them are older people without children, or if they are, you can only have 1 or 2 kids. Two-family home, you'll have to get 4, 5, 6 kids in that house. Now multiply 6 kids by $14,000 in school tuition, and put in 7, 10, 20 houses like that, you're going to be paying a much greater fee to the school board and the tuition that they encumber. So I think you're wrong on that.
No, I'm not saying stop what you're doing.
No,
I'm saying give the people a chance now that they're going to be losing equity in their homes instead of rushing it. At least there's some advertising involved, because I would be surprised if some of the neighborhoods got together and put a class action lawsuit against you for everybody losing their equity. Because I would think if I was a note holder on some of these houses, and all of a sudden I find out tomorrow, hey, the house isn't worth, it's worth $30,000 less.
Yeah, but keep this in mind, Mr. Fasolo. The people who have a single-family house are paying single-family taxes. They're not paying two-family taxes on the land or on the building.
I'm not denying
that. They're
that.
saving that. What you're saying is if they want to sell their house and move out of town and put a two-family house, and then they're gone from Elmwood Park, that leaves us who stay here with 5, 6, 7, 8 children in a two-family house, increasing our total student population, increasing our police population that we'd have, increasing ambulance corps services because they're all two-family houses, and the person who just sold a house moved out of town. He doesn't live here anymore. We're stuck with the burden, he made the profit.
I'm not denying that. I understand, I agree with you totally. I mean, we spent, what, $50 million on creating the Taj Mahal on River Drive? It had to be for something.
Yeah.
I don't know what capacity percentage the school is full at this point. When Mr. Langen decides to build all the apartments here on River Drive by the golf course, that's going to dwarf a couple of two-family houses.
The apartments that may, if they ever go up,
oh, they will.
Mr. Langen, the estimate is maybe 10, 12 kids in that whole unit because of the size of the apartments, et cetera else. So, no, that's not going to create an awful lot of kids. It's not creating as many kids as a two-family house.
All I'm saying here tonight is give some of these people, don't give them 30 days, give them 6 months, up to a year at least, so everybody knows what's going to occur. They're not all going to pack their bags and sell the house tomorrow. But at the very least, you got to work on trying to do that. I mean, I don't know what your ideas are to bring revenue back into the community. A lot of the businesses are still suffering going before the boards. Market Street still looks the way it looks. Regardless, you get a dry cleaner here, you get a nail salon here, and then Mr. Castillo cringes because we don't need another nail salon. But we can't be prejudiced because it's a small business that runs the engine in this country.
That's right.
So anybody who has the guts to go out on their own and try to keep the lights on every day, I mean, you gotta give them a little credit.
Thank you.
The next question I have is, I read recently in the record that Hohokus received some money for their streetscape. Quite a bit of money. And I was wondering, since I left office, how many applications were put in trying to go after our project that's already in the midst of
Every
being
year.
started. Every year? And you've been denied every year. So how did Hohokus get this then? Does anybody know?
Nope.
I mean, Mr. Conway, you were just...
I was just going to say, we even, when we were told at the middle of, I believe, around last year, towards the middle of the year, or maybe it was towards the, maybe summer of last year, when we were told that there was no more money for streetscape, another one cropped up, and right away Boswell and the council jumped on it to creep back through the DOT on another one, and we were just, to finish, at least to the overpass.
To get at least to St. Leo's.
Mr. Pasillo, again, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that we just recently got another update on it, that now we were told again that that money is not going to happen.
Mr. Pasillo, in the form of a joke, okay? I'm a former freeholder. I've been mayor here for a few years. We didn't get anything. Hohokus is where the county executive lives, Mr. McNerney. Maybe he has more pull than I do. What can I say?
I wouldn't say it's that, I mean...
I'm teasing about that, but that's where he happens to live.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I didn't put that together. I think that is his neighborhood. But I just want to, you know, if you're going to do this with the two families at least, give some consideration to a time frame. At least give that courtesy to the residents.
Okay.
Frank,
That's all.
If I may, if I just may on that, Frank, regarding that streetscape, one of the reasons why we thought we were going to be hopeful that we were going to get it this time was because, if I'm not mistaken, we also tied into the fact that we were trying to widen the street, which we're having problems with the easements at the moment, which I know is a project that, you were on it. We actually invested already 10 grand in the designing of that to make it happen. We had a good shot at that DOT, so it was very disappointing when we just had P10K in, and I know you're well familiar with him, but told us that it looks like we're not going to get it.
This is the intersection of Market and Boulevard you're talking about?
The intersection over here, Market and Boulevard.
Right, that's still that's already been approved, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been approved, we just have to get the easement.
Right, once the easements are done, because I knew there was going to be land acquisition here back when we put this through. But those designs include the same designs we have on the streetscape. Because you can't do it otherwise, that's by ordinance. So everything that's going to occur at that intersection is going to match what we have here in front of the building.
Right.
It's just that the gap is going to happen from Conti's funeral home to just past St. Leo's at the Valero station.
What I was trying to tell you was that we thought we even had a better chance because of the fact we were doing work at that intersection.
We should have had the better chance because our project was already started. Our project isn't ended. That's why no money should have went to any new startups. It should have continued in Elmwood Park.
They don't work that way, Frank.
Our streetscape is
They don't
a
care.
project ongoing. Am I correct, Mayor? I mean, that's why I remember
To
it.
put in every year for the streetscape to continue.
Right, but we would have first dibs because we're in the middle of a project.
No, our project's finished. The project that's the corner of Market
Our
Street,
project ran out of the funding they gave us for it.
the
it's not
project we
finished.
have, the streetscape is completed. The project that you have on the corner of Market and the Boulevard is county. That's not state, that's county.
That's correct. Mr. Truinsky, you had something?
Yeah, I just want to add something. On that two-family ordinance, the reason I voted no, and I'd be all honest with you, Frank, I attended the meeting at the planning board. There must have been a good 75 to 100 people here. 99% didn't want two families. They want 75 by 100 lots, and I was totally in favor of that. If that's what the constituents want, so be it. The only problem I had is I remember discussing something about phasing in maybe a year, 6 months, whatever. That's the only problem.
Yeah, that's the right thing.
Because some people are afraid to come to the meetings, I realize that. And bear in mind, though, any existing two families under this ordinance, even if they burn down, they can put them back. So that won't ruin your tax base that way, you know what I'm saying? It's not like saying that, hey, you no longer have the qualification for a two-family if it burns down. You still have that in effect, so.
I would say 100% of the people that I spoke to wanted it done 2 years ago. They didn't want to wait another...
Yeah, I mean, there's a black mark on two families. That goes without saying. But there's also an economic windfall and an economic downfall when it comes with it. But if the planning board can ease up on maybe some of these people winding their driveways, if you ease up on some of the coverage issues, maybe you can get some of these cars off the street. Just as well as you did the advertising to eliminate them from building two families, maybe you can do some advertising saying, look, we're going to give a time frame of 6 months, a year, if somebody's interested in doing it. Come in, here are the applications one at a time.
These people want it done.
You know, and maybe you can make some decisions there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard? No one wishes to be heard. I'd just like to make a comment about, parking cars and widening the front of the house, or your parking lot in front of the house. If you do that, you're not going to have any green space in front of the house. You're going to have parking lot, all concrete in front of each area. One of the things I've noticed, and I think the councilmen have noticed this also, the cars today are much bigger than the garages of all our little houses that we have. We have Cape Cod houses in town. If you have an SUV, you can't fit in the garage. If you have any large car, you can't fit in the garage. So people are not storing their cars in the garage anymore because they don't fit. They're in the driveway. If you have 3 cars in the family, 2 are in the driveway, 1's in the street. So, can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Mr. Conboy, second by Mr. Work. All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You still on? Let me just repeat. This meeting will be seen on Channel 77 Monday at 12 noon, Wednesday at 3 p.m., Thursday at 4 p.m. 12 noon on Monday, 3 p.m. on Wednesday, 4 p.m. on Thursday, Channel 77. Thank you. And thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen.